acting like I know what I'm doing. I actually have no idea what I'm doing right now. I have to follow this recipe. It's too intense for me, I think. We're in it to be fast. Okay, that right there looks amazing. When I have friends over, I really feel like your appetizers make or break it. Wait, I'm just kidding. I'm being so dramatic about it. Not actually. Okay, your appetizers don't make or break it. It's your personality, but I feel like the appetizers are a big part of it. And I love having friends and family over, and I have very specific apps. I probably should expand more, but I have 3 apps that are so good. They're always crowd pleasers. They're really cheap to buy, really easy to make, and they're just delicious. So I have 2 appetizers that I make like all the time, like when I have girlfriends over or really whatever. One's a flatbread. You can technically make it vegan. I have a friend who's vegan. So high maintenance of her. No, I'm just kidding. But you can make it vegan, so it's a really good flatbread. And then I have another one that is bruschetta, which don't even get me started on bruschetta. I just think bruschetta is one of the best things in the entire planet. And this recipe is the best bruschetta you will ever have in your entire life. It will outdo any bruschetta recipe ever. And then lastly, I have an appetizer that is perfect for football games. It's a little heartier, definitely not healthy for you, but it is so good, and that is bean dip. It's like hot. It's just so good. So let's get cooking. Okay. So I'm thinking first we should make the bruschetta. The bruschetta's the most complicated one, I would say. Usually, okay, so like here's how the bruschetta works. I need to give some background on the bruschetta for it to make sense. You have the bread, and then you have the cheese mixture, which is like unreal. And then you have the tomato garlicky mixture on top. That's like the classic bruschetta. Usually before, I would just go to the grocery store, like my Myers carried it, Aldi sometimes carried it. My local grocery store, they had it, and you could just get the bruschetta mixture like already made. Sadly, that is like not a thing anymore. I don't know why, they just stopped carrying it. So now I have to like slave away in the kitchen and make it myself, but it's actually super easy. It would just be easier if you could just buy it. So you have the bread, the cheese, the bruschetta on the top, and then we drizzle with some balsamic, and it's so good. So I'm thinking we should make that first, since it's like the most complicated process. And I've been getting my bruschetta recipe when I've had to start making it myself. I get it from the website Cooking Classy, and it's just super, super easy. So what you do is you take some, you just want a small skillet, and then let's get some olive oil. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you just wanna cook some garlic. And I'm acting like I know what I'm doing. I actually have no idea what I'm doing right now. I have to follow this recipe. I've only had to make it one time. I'll like link the exact recipe so you can see it, but, oh wait, I think that we need more. We need 1/4 cup. Okay, we need more oil, hold on. Okay, then we need, I know all the other recipes like by heart. Okay, then we need 1.5 tablespoons of fresh minced garlic. I'm a garlic whore. Like seriously, I could eat garlic all the time. Like that's definitely more than what we need. Okay, so then it says to let it cook for 1 minute, and then we pour that all into a mixing bowl. So then this is where my favorite tool comes into play, and if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably in Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you're probably annoyed of me talking about this, but let me tell you. Wait, my sister got it. Did you like it? She hasn't used, I don't think she's used it yet. Oh, it's life changing. She took it to school. It's literally life changing. This chopper, best thing I've ever bought in my life. So I think we're good with this, and then you just add the entire thing into this bowl. And then after this, it's honestly so easy. So this recipe calls for 7 to 8 tomatoes. That's a lot. So, I mean, I'm gonna do it, but just like you could make a ton of bruschetta with this. Okay, this is how amazing this tool is. Just get ready for this. Sarah, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You don't even need to cut it like that. Oh, fuck. Okay, usually it's not as juicy. I bet it'd be better if we just went like this. And then it's chopped.
It's so nice.
Like, are you kidding?
It's so nice.
It's the best. Okay, so chop all your tomatoes, and then I'll report back. Okay. So then the last complicated thing to this recipe really is just this basil, and then it's just some spices, and like the bruschetta part of it's done. But if you can find it at your store, like, good for you. It's even better. And I'm jealous. Don't use the canned stuff though. They'll have the canned stuff. I'm telling you, it is nowhere near as good. Also, I know I'm cutting this like a, like I don't know what, but definitely a better way to cut it. They say to cut it like ribbons. I just feel like it's too intense for me, I think. We're in it to be fast. Okay, so then you just need a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. So we use other vinegar. I just don't know my measurements.
Oh my god.
It'll taste good. Hopefully no one complains. Okay. And then we just need some salt and pepper, and I think we're in business. All right, then let's like mix that all around. It looks so, like, I mean, look how fresh that looks. So for this next step, I like to stagger it out. Stagger. What just happened to me? I don't know. Okay, I like to stagger it out so that it just works with the baking time. So what you need to do first, preheat the oven, 425. So mad, it's so messy. I guess I could have cleaned it, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, so then while that's preheating, get a baking sheet together, parchment. I buy pre-cut parchment from Amazon. It's the best thing ever. And then you just wanna get some French bread and chop it up. So what I found, is this a bread knife?
No idea.
Me either. Okay, whatever.
I don't know what the specific knives are.
Definitely not. That's horrible to cut with, but it's fine. I'm gonna sharpen it actually.
Oh my god.
It's a process. Yeah, no, it really does do something. Okay, so this is what I found to be like the best depth of this. What would it be called? Width?
Yeah.
Okay, like that. You don't want it to be too thick. Can you see it?
Yeah, when I was focusing.
Okay. Tell me when I can take my hand up.
What is that, like a third of an inch?
Yeah, I would say a third of an inch is good, Sarah. A quarter of an inch. Okay, so
Somewhere in there.
it's not always gonna be perfect.
At the end.
Sure. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay, so we then chop that. Sarah, do you want to come and cut this, and then I'll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna start making the cheese. I said that like 5 times though. So what you need for the cheese is ricotta, mascarpone, I don't know how you say it, and goat cheese. This makes this recipe, so buy it. Don't not buy it. Yeah. I just eyeball this. So what I do is I eyeball it like every other thing.
Yeah, jeez. If you're looking for exact measurements,
not the right place. No, I'll try to get exact measurements on the website I have exact measurements. Okay, so I just usually take like half of this. and then you plop it down. This is the ricotta. And then I do the entire thing of the mascarpone and the goat cheese. And then I mix them all together. Okay, so, I mean, I really don't know how I'm gonna mix this.
So you need
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the microwave for like a hot 30 seconds.
No, do it for like 8.
Okay, fine, 8.
30 seconds to be like butter.
Sarah, let the bruschetta master make the bruschetta.
I'm eating the rest of this.
Okay. This is literally like my favorite recipe of all time. Okay. 8 seconds. What you do is take this, once it's cut, and then throw it, oh gosh. Put it in the oven for 5 minutes. We just wanna get it a little crunchy, because it just makes it better. So, Alexa, timer for 5 minutes.
I hated that. Did that.
Okay, and now I'm just gonna keep mixing this. Get a picture of the bruschetta. Okay, so the last thing that you do for the cheese is just add some salt and pepper, which is no biggie. I feel like everyone has salt and pepper. Cooking, Sophia 101. Okay, so the bread's been in the oven for 5 minutes, then you take it out. Okay, they usually don't move around like that. And then what you do is you flip it over. So like this part will be hard, and so you want the soft part to be up now. I washed my hands.
Did you?
I don't know if I did.
I didn't catch that part.
Okay. So then what you do, get a knife, get the cheese mixture, and you want to do just a nice little layer. So you don't want it to be too thick, but like you don't want it to be too thin either. So like that's pretty good. And then repeat. You can either throw these in the oven for another 5 minutes, which is like being very extra of you / good of you, or you can be kind of lazy like me. And really, I don't know if you can tell a difference between this, but you can just put the tomato mixture right on top. What I would recommend is this is pretty juicy. So I would use a fork just because you don't want these to get like too juicy, otherwise they'll be soggy. Which no one wants a piece of soggy bread, and that's kind of why we also cook the bread beforehand, just so it can get a little like crunch to it. So then you just stick a little, which like bear with me while I try to make this look good. So just stick a little like that on each piece of bread. And then once that's done, we're gonna pop it back in the oven. So we're gonna throw this in the oven for another like 7 minutes-ish. And then after it's done, we're gonna put the finishing touches, and I'm gonna show you how to like set it up cute. This might be harder to set it up cute. Usually the bread pieces are a little bigger, and so I can like layer it on top. These are kind of small. We'll have to figure it out. So it's been 7 minutes, so let's take it out of the oven. And then I'll show you some quick tips and tricks on how Alexa, stop the timer. but on how if anyone with an Alexa is gonna kill me during this video. All right, so this is what you do next. So I'm all about presentation with how I do my appetizers. Even if I get like salsa from the grocery store, I'll get a cute container or a cute bowl and I'll put it in that just because I think it makes it look so much better. I have the best luck finding stuff at like Home Goods. So for this one, originally I was thinking that I could layer these all on top of each other, but they're almost too small. So I'm gonna try it out. Otherwise, what you can do, and this is what I usually do, is I just leave it on the pan. I feel like the coloring of it is so pretty that no one really cares. Yeah. Anyways, so you could do that. I'm just thinking for picture's sake, if I'm being honest. Okay, so we'll try to put it on there and then, but otherwise, if you're leaving it on here, this is like, I say the cheese is the best part. This is also the best part. Get some balsamic reduction. So this is like syrupy almost. It's not regular balsamic. It's like a glaze. It's the best thing ever. And all grocery stores have it. You just have to kind of do a little searching for it. And then some honey and you drizzle it over and it's like the best. You cannot make it without doing at least this one. Honey, I like the honey, but I don't think it's like end all be all. Okay, let's try to put this all around. Now it's probably just gonna be like insanely gorgeous. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay. Then do some honey and it adds just a little bit of sweetness. It's like amazing. I would do more balsamic probably than the honey, but still this will be so good. Ooh, it's thick. Wow. Okay, that right there looks amazing. Yum. Okay, the next recipe is this bean dip. I always go to call it taco dip. Do I have stuff on my face? No. We just devoured that bruschetta. I always go to call it taco dip, but it's not taco dip. It's like hot and it's so good. It's basically your dream recipe or appetizer to bring to like a football game, or if you're having a football game gathering at your house, make it. Every single person loves it. Like I even will make it. Ben and I will always make it before Friendsgiving and we'll take it. We'll like, it ends up at the bar somehow. Yeah. It's not really a pretty recipe, but it's so freaking good. Like you'll be obsessed. So I actually find this recipe from Lil Luna. We'll link it below. It would not be right of me to take credit for this recipe since it's like definitely not recipe. Yeah, you need a cup of sour cream, can of refried beans, half a stick of cream cheese, 1 thing of taco seasoning, and then some Mexican cheese. And what I do, this is what I found easiest. I have a food processor that I inherited in my parents' divorce. So that's lucky, not lucky for me. I mean, yeah. Sad situation, good tool. But you can also like, if I'm in a hurry, which I've done this before, I throw it in my like smoothie blender, which wasn't the most ideal thing, but it works. So let me go get the food processor. Otherwise you can mix it with your hands. You're just gonna be sore afterwards.
Would you do it in like a mixing bowl?
You could probably do it in a mixing bowl.
Like a KitchenAid?
Yeah, you could probably do that. The only thing, the reason I like the food processor, and this should probably even be like a little thought out, is because sometimes cream cheese gets hard to blend and then it gets chunky, which honestly, if it is chunky, you put a layer of cheese over it anyways.
And you can microwave it for like...
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me go get the food processor and then we'll add it all in. All right, I zapped. Do people say zapped? Is that a Wisconsin thing? I zapped half a block of cream cheese.
I've never used that terminology.
I know, I just aged like 50 years, I think. Okay, so half a stick of cream cheese, a full can of refried beans, okay, so that was just a cup of sour cream. If you get a 16-ounce thing of sour cream, it's just half of it. And then you need a packet of taco seasoning. And that's it. And then start mixing it. I have to bring it to a plug. My apartment island only has plugs on one side. Okay, so last thing that you do is get a casserole dish or something that you can put in the oven. This is from World Market. Love it. It's white, clean. Like I said, this recipe is just not very pretty. So I feel like this just makes it look slightly better. Empty the ingredients like so. Okay, I have to.
Looks like peanut butter.
Yeah, it really does look like peanut butter. Oh, yum. I mean, come on. Come on! So good. Okay, last thing, some Mexican cheese. Okay, then drizzle it over. Like so. And then pop it in the oven. The recipe calls for 350. My oven's already set for 425 since we just made the bruschetta, so I'm just gonna put it in at that for like, the 350 one I think is 25 minutes, but for this one I'll just do like 20 minutes. And it will be perfect. So good. This next recipe is a Sophia original. I'm very proud of it. It's so good. Probably my most made recipe, right, Sarah? Like anytime we gather with friends,
This is on the table.
This is always on the table because it's so easy, and if I'm being honest, it's cheap. So I can get it done like.
And it tastes good. Most importantly.
And people really like it, right? Like you actually like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, so get some parchment paper. What you're gonna need, parchment paper, flatbread. I get this brand, the Artisan Flatbread Stone Oven Baked from Aldi's. I did try to get it at a different grocery store and they didn't have it, but any type of flatbread, I know Trader Joe's has flatbreads because my friend's made this recipe and she uses it. And so, get that. Then you're gonna need some pesto. I've used all different types of pesto. I've used green pesto like this. I've used red pesto. I'm sure there's like a way better actual name for those. I don't know what it is. Do you know what the red pesto is called?
No.
Like, what is this? I don't know. I just bought the cheapest one. But then what you do is you're gonna do a thin layer of pesto all over the flatbread. And then I got some oil, but try not to get, I mean, we don't want it to be soggy. Okay, I love the crust of it, so I usually leave the crust open. Then what you're gonna need is 1 or 2 tomatoes. For just one flatbread, you just need 1 tomato. I'm only gonna make 1 flatbread. We have so many apps for tonight, we don't need it. Okay, so get yourself a Roma tomato. I've used all different types of tomatoes. It really doesn't matter. And then you're gonna cut it. Cut it in thin pieces. So moral of all of this is thin. So then you're just gonna lay them all over this. I mean, these are like cut to perfection.
Oh yeah.
Literally that knife cut it so well. Okay, just like that, that's perfect. Okay, then you're gonna get a mozzarella log. So you can get a pre-cut log, which is fine and dandy and great. I usually like to buy the non-pre-cut ones because I feel like I can get more out of it. And then cut thin slices of this too. This is like harder to cut thin just because it's mozzarella. Okay, so then what you do is you layer this on top. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look so good already? That's where you're saying yes. So.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It looks so good. Then what you do is pop it into the oven for like 425, 10-ish minutes. Just keep an eye on it. I just like to place it directly on, like I'll get my parchment paper sheet and then I place this directly onto the oven. I feel like that gets it crispy and just nice. So I can show you an example. We have the, what did we just make? The bean dip. Yep, we have the bean dip in the oven. And then, I mean, be careful. Watch I burn myself. But just slide it in. Like that. Let it cook for 10 minutes and then we'll finish it up. The finishing touch is similar to the bruschetta, but it makes it like unreal. I mean, look at how good that looks. That just screams football.
It really does.
Zero health to it, but I mean, who cares? So good. Okay, so then you would serve that with chips. What I like to do to make it look cuter, I don't know if this actually makes it look cuter, but I'll just get a cuter bowl and then put chips in that bowl. And then you just bring that and you call it a day. And the food, it's just so good. Okay, next we have the flatbread. Yeah. So then how you finish this off is, and this is like key too, crucial step. Get the balsamic drizzle again and do a drizzle like that. Kind of messed up right there, but it's fine. And then do honey. I mean, like unreal. So good. And that's it. Those are my, like literally, I said it literally 5 times, but these are my go-to recipes. These are like what I make all the time when I have friends over, family. They're so good. And I highly recommend that you make them for your next small gathering.
They're good.
So good. Katie, come on! If you want to eat my apps, you need to tell them the news.
I just love, they look so good. I just would like to know, which one did you think was vegan?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I thought that you could take off the cheese
The
on
one
that.
with cheese on top.
Yeah. Katie, tell
I
them.
got in law school.
Woo! Not only law school, but
Lewis and Clark.
yay!
The dream love.
All right, everyone needs to sample the apps. Brooke's already going
They're
at
all
it. It's
frozen.
cold, Brooke.
I know, it's so good.
For more videos like this, but actually for more decorating videos, organization, cleaning, just how I like decorate my apartment, etc., how we're going the business, follow me on Instagram at @BySophiaLee and subscribe to my channel.